Hey y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is Cougar Afterthought Show. We just watched U of H embarrass West Virginia once again. It doesn't matter the sport this year. That's what's going to happen when Houston and West Virginia play. Starns, what were your thoughts about what you saw today?
I think what stuck out at me was really almost from the warm-ups was just the energy that you could see from the team. I don't know if you saw it too, Ryan, but there are people talking next to me.
Yeah,
But I don't know if you saw it, but there was, I think, considerable energy from the team in warm-ups. It felt like, and then you saw it in the game. The bench was going crazy in the first half. Guys were making dunks that we haven't seen yet this year. You could definitely tell, and that they were amped up for this game. And then, Kelvin Sampson was asked, if there was a little extra. He normally brushes that off, but he did say that the guys do have a chip on their shoulder. I talked to LJ Cryer after the press conference. He said, that they had seen the things that people were saying that maybe Houston didn't belong in the Big 12, and it seemed like they wanted to come out and make a statement. And that first half, I think that's as much of
clearly
a
what
statement as
happened, right?
you can make. Yeah,
Is that the best half of basketball we've seen this year?
it has to be, right?
I think so.
Maybe A&M first half, but I don't think that was as
That's
dominant
true.
as this one.
They played really well in that half, but this was probably just a little bit better. I think the MVP of the day is Emmanuel Sharp. Ah, shit. Galen, that's my problem. How about we do this? I thought, okay, Kelvin's staring at me. That's not intimidating. I thought Damian Dunn had a really good game. I'm going to share this from Quantus White from our interview Thursday night, and then we'll get back and have Galen in ready to go.
How close is Damian Dunn?
He's coming. I mean, it's a process. You look at these games, and some people might look at it and say, he's inconsistent. He doesn't fit. You have all the naysayers, but we understand as coaches and our program, it's a process. I mean, you go back and look at Quentin Grimes his first year. Quentin was really good, but he had some games where he wasn't so good. He was inconsistent at times. But it's all a part of development. We hang our hats on development guys. And so we don't get down if he has a bad game or a couple bad games, right, in terms of like his statistics, because we know that's going to change. We know we're really good at what we do. And I know it's just a matter of time before, he gets going.
Where has he improved the most since he got here?
His intensity. His intensity. I see it each and every day. Again, I go back to Quentin. Quentin averaged, I think, if you look back at it, he averaged maybe 2 rebounds a game his first year. Well, the next year he averaged 7. So it takes time. Everybody wants this microwave thing. He transferred from Temple, is a really good player. Hey, we 13-0 right now, and that kid's a part of us being 13-0. So to the outside, it might look like he's inconsistent, but he's been, consistent with his effort, and it's gotten better and better and better each day.
That's Quantus White, and here with us is Galen Robinson, who once again has his camera the wrong way. Galen background. Okay, here we go. Just for a minute. We got Substantial. We got Galen, the hoodie. He's not in the bathroom, which is a big deal. Breaking news on that. We're going to go back to our beautiful Sparkle background. Sparkle has agreed to sponsor cats for now. We're probably going to make it a permanent thing, but for now, they're in the house. Galen pouring the wine.
Absolutely.
Fancy stuff.
What up, Starns?
Starns, Galen. Galen, what are your first thoughts about what you saw?
A hell of a way to make an entrance. It kind of reminded me whenever We played Wichita State whenever they first came into the American. How it seemed like nothing can go our way and everything was going their way. We might have lost
Hmm.
that game by like 25. I remember leaving that game thinking like these guys are unbeatable. Like it kind of gave me those similar type feels, but I'm glad we were able to come be on the other end of that and come out, obviously with the comfortable win.
This is the best this offense has looked all year.
Yes, yes, yes. It looked very smooth, and I can tell like Quinn Slazinski. He's one of those. He's a Houston kid. He's more of a guard, and I knew he was going to be matched up on J1, and I felt like coach would probably attack that matchup early on.
Okay,
Um, but I felt like we did a good job of attacking matchups and just playing with flow. It just looked like our offense was just smooth. It wasn't like the ball was sticking. It was moving. It was popping. The ball was finding open man. It was fun to watch.
for sure. Uh, the stagnation in the offense was a huge key all week. They had been preaching it, and finally got that ball moved, started the offense quicker in the shot clock. And I think they finally got what they've been looking to get. Galen, you didn't get to see our new intro, but we're going to show you right now. Sparkle. Get your sparkle on right now with the beautiful people from Sparkle. Uh, let's look at some comments, see if anybody liked what they saw. Uh, could not ask for a better opener. Let's keep it going. Next two on the road. I'm going to tell you, TCU looked pretty strong at Kansas today.
They
They
got
played them
screwed. They
screwed,
got
right?
screwed. Wow.
I agree. And screw Kansas, but that's going to happen at Kansas. You're never going to get calls there. You're always going to get worked over. And Quantis nailed it with Dunn. I'm going to tell Nuke said to me, Dunn's coming. He's going to break out in 2 games. Well, this game was 2 games, was when he told me that. And I was like, he's going to break out in the Big 12. But here it was. He had a nice night.
Yeah.
Emmanuel had a really nice night. He locked Battle down completely.
Yeah.
That Battle
Yeah.
kid was basically not even in Texas. And you have to
If he
just be
would have
very
if he would
happy.
have had half of his average, it would have been a completely different game. But with Damian, I love watching him. I love his game because he's the type of guy you can go to and you can pick on a matchup. You can draw a foul
Hmm.
on somebody who you want to get in foul trouble, and he's a real weapon for us.
For sure.
And Emmanuel Sharp, his defense and uh, Calvin Sampson talked about it in the game. His defensive improvement, even just
Crazy,
from game 1 to now, I feel like
man,
has been insane. Just
monumental.
some breaking news from Matt Zenitz. Former Houston head coach Dana Holgerson in talks with Nebraska about a possible role on the staff. Per sources, I know you would love that, Ryan. I know you wanted to get that in.
That's delightful. I hope you have fun, Dana. Lincoln is your kind of town.
But I have a question for Galen. I mean, I feel like the energy. I said it earlier before you got here, but the energy from the team, we could see it in pregame warmups, and then we saw it on the court. Just how amped up it felt like this team was for the Big 12. Calvin Sampson says that conference play is like second season. So, Galen, is that when you get to that point? I know it's not first game in the Big 12, but do you notice a shift in that first game, or maybe just a shift in preparation, practice, things like that?
It's definitely a shift because that every game from here on out is super high stakes, and a lot of the games can make or break you. and with them entering the Big 12, it's like you kind of want to prove you belong, because everything you see about us is like, oh, Houston, they're this, but they didn't beat anybody, or they didn't. Okay, well, what did Purdue do last year? They lost to, how far did they go? But nobody ever talks about that. So I feel like, people try to discredit us any chance they get, but us being in the Big 12 now and I feel like we're going to do well, and I feel like this is going to help us, moving forward. I'm just glad that we came out with the victory, man. I'm glad we were able to get the thing started off on the right foot.
Yeah. Someone asked Jamal, I believe it was Chris Gardner, asked Jamal about Emmanuel's defense in this game. And I thought that was a great question because Emmanuel deserves a ton of credit for what
Facts.
he did on Battle. The way Emmanuel has become a good defender is startling. In the summer, they were really down on the way he defended. And to come all this way in the first week of January is a pretty good deal. Watch this from Jamal.
Man, he took the challenge. A guy that was averaging 27 over the last 3 games. When it's coming in here, you got to step up to the plate, and he did just that. He only shot the ball 4 times, but he was our most valuable player on defense the whole night because he took that challenge and tried to shut that guy down. He did a really good job. So, hats off to E.
I really think he and Dunn were your players of the game. Both of them stepped up in a big way. LJ had an LJ night. He scored a ton. Jamal played very well. Jawan, who a lot of people didn't think was going to play, did a great job on that kid Slazinski. I'm never going to say his name right. I hope he graduates so I don't have to say it anymore. There was some concern there were going to be matchup problems here. But once you brought the physicality to West Virginia, they weren't ready. And, they've played in this league, even though these 5 starters have not. This team has played in this league and have seen that physical play, but these guys weren't ready.
Yeah. I just say just hats off to our coaching staff for getting our guys ready because this is very much a losable game. The kid Noah Farrakhan, the transfer from Arizona, I think his name was like Krissa.
Yeah,
if I'm not
played
mistaken.
him in the Sweet 16 a couple of years ago.
You got Raekwon Battle, then you got Quinn Sazinski, who's a Houston kid, and I think he averages 15.5 points, scored 8 tonight. So it was a very losable game. It was a game that those guys that, you on the road, first conference game for West Virginia, and you're playing a top 5 team in the nation. That's a lot. It's very easy to get up for a game like that. So just hats off to our coaching staff for having our guys ready and being able to come out and dominate.
Kerr only shot the ball 4 times, and that's a testament. I mean, that guy will shoot it. Yeah, he'll shoot it anytime he touches it. So we'll battle. But between them, they went 3 for 13. I mean, you'll take that every day.
Yeah. It just seemed like it was a tough. They were having to just live off just making hard shots, and that's a hard way to beat us.
Yeah, for sure. Last week, we ran an ad asking advertisers to please help. I've got to pay for all these hoodies. But our prayers were answered. Thank you, Sparkle.
Ryan, that's cold, bro. That's elite. That is elite. That is elite.
A young Asian woman is coming into my view here. This is Ann. She's waving hi to Galen. I don't understand. Okay, well, I got popcorn. Popcorn?
I have.
Okay.
Ask Ann if she's done editing her photos yet.
Are you done editing your photos?
I didn't edit one.
I don't know. Why am I doing this while we're live? This doesn't make any sense for my career. She hasn't done that. She doesn't care about your stupid photos. She's not a journalist. She does
She's a
pictures.
photojournalist.
She does pictures.
Whatever.
It's AHN. It's
No.
ANH.
ANH.
I
Yeah.
knew I would get that wrong. Damn it. ANH.
Kayla can get a hoodie.
You absolutely can.
Okay, I guess I'm buying that one. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sparkle. Jamie Hollingsworth, who
Shout out Jamie, man.
absolutely
Shout out Jamie.
nailed another scouting report. Sparkle in the house with Ann. Just you could be like a model and just stand there like Price are right. Please don't spray it. So Jamie Hollingsworth, once again, Jamie and I went and talked with Reed Geddes before the game, and Reed was like, wow, your scouting report, you did my work for me. Jeremy Branham said the same thing to Jamie in like a 30-second span of when we talked to Reed. So everybody is getting on the Jamie Hollingsworth train, and we're just very happy that we were smart enough to get on that train first. Baylor and Oklahoma State are in overtime right now. Uh-oh. Poor guys. They're such
Oklahoma
good
State?
people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Where's the game at?
I believe it's in Stillwater because Baylor
Makes
women
sense,
are
yeah.
hosting U of H women right now, and I
Okay.
don't think that's going well. Do you have a score on that,
Damn.
Starns? It's
I can pull it up
87-58
right now.
final. It was a 29-point loss for U of H.
Yeah.
It's
and
just not
in
going to go
terms of-
well.
In terms of U of H beating West Virginia, the women's team does not play, or they play in 11 days. So they have BYU and TCU first, and then West Virginia.
You should cover that just to make sure that you continue to get that.
It's in Morgantown.
That diamond. Okay, well,
And
still.
I believe, I think all of U of H's
Morgantown.
wins against West Virginia have been at home, other than maybe soccer.
Got to
yeah.
win your games.
Soccer, football, men's basketball, volleyball, all got their first Big 12 wins against West Virginia.
I wonder
And-
why they scheduled. Wow, that's crazy.
Women's basketball.
Well,
pending.
West Virginia was not, it was your third or fourth conference game. It's just the first one you won.
Yeah.
So Jamie says, what's up, guys? How about that defense lockdown battle? They did. When Jamie and I interviewed him here in the Legends Club and asked him, who were they going to put on battle? And I just thought he was going to say Jamal Shed. And he was like, I think it's going to be Emmanuel. And I'm like, and he was right. And guess what? Emmanuel did the job. Emmanuel,
I thought it was going to be Jamal too. Crazy
see,
enough that you
Jamie,
say that.
I'm not crazy. The Godfather thought that as well.
Oh, brother.
But Jamie nailed it. And good for him and good for us. And he's smart and everybody loves him. And
West Virginia, they do have a talented team over there.
there's a lot of talent
They
on
have
the
a
team.
lot of talent on the team, but I do think they've had kind of a just bad luck with injuries and other things like that. But I feel like if they got all their entire team that was healthy at one time, I do feel like they'd be able to upset some people for sure.
I think in the second half of the Big 12 schedule, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, I think so
especially in
too.
Morgantown.
And then because they're missing their starting big man, and like I remember
Yeah.
watching them play against, I forget the game, but it might have been SMU, but he was playing like really, really well. Just super tall, light skinned kid. He was dunking everything. I was super impressed, but obviously he was hurt against us. But I just know that him and Battle and Chrissa and Farrakhan, that is a talented bunch.
It really is. I think
Super.
individually they're talented. They haven't figured out how to play with each other yet. This was only their fourth game together. And how do you come together in that short a time and come to a place like this where it was a fantastic crowd?
And I think the announcers, they were saying like these guys have to gel during Big 12 play. And it's just like, damn, how hard, that's so difficult to do. Like, man.
And West Virginia's had kind of a hellish last half of 2023 with their coach making his remarks and his choices.
That's too bad.
And so they were you could expect them to get thrown around early on, but now that they have their players back and things like that, they could probably get on a roll. I think another player
Emmanuel,
that could sneaky be a player of the game was Javier Francis. I thought his aggressiveness, especially early on, was big. I mean, he scored U of H's first Big 12 points with a pretty good dunk.
yeah.
But he was assertive when he got the ball down there. He had two good putbacks, I think, that sort of anchored a run towards the endish of the
Mhm.
first half that really sort of put it away. And I thought we haven't seen that consistently from him yet, and to see it in the first Big 12 game was pretty big.
Yeah. So we were at practice Thursday, Starns and I, and we don't get to watch practice. But when they practice in Fertitta Center, we get to hear it. We're sitting in the club level, far in the back, because Kelvin doesn't want us watching, which is perfectly fine. But we hear what's going on. And Kelvin was riding JVR pretty hard. And I mean, it was an ongoing thing. And I always think that if you get ridden hard like that in practice, it's probably going to show up in the game. You're probably going to show out and try to shut him up, try to get him off your back. And that's exactly what JVR did today. Kelvin said he was proud of JVR in the postgame, said that, what he's doing is impressive and that he really is happy with what he's been able to do. I think you got great effort and performances from JVR and Emmanuel and Damian Dunn, guys that are going to have to step up and have big games in this conference for you to do the things you want to do. And
Yeah.
you had 3 of them in this first game.
I think whenever a coach does that, he knows the importance you are to the team's success. Him
Right.
issuing that challenge out to Big J just shows how important he is for our team. And obviously, it kind of, when you're that guy in that position, me having been that before, it definitely puts you on alert, puts you on edge, and you're kind of really attentive. And it's like it does actually translate to you playing better. So it's just like, I don't know how it works. I don't know how. I wish I did, but it definitely works. And I don't know what the method is to his madness, but it somehow, some way, it always just gives you results.
Jamal Shed, after that practice, said that was a 4-hour practice, and then they watched film.
Said it was
that.
a long practice, and they were going back and forth from the practice facility to Fertitta to watch film.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah. And he said that he told us that their practices were really starting to get better, and that the last time they were getting better around this time was 2021, the Final Four year.
Mhm.
They mainly said that he said that was mainly because of the bench guys, Malik Wilson, Ramon Walker, pushing those starters. And Galen, I'm wondering if you had anything similar to that, maybe 2018, 19,
Oh, for sure.
17, 18.
Absolutely. Our scout team, they were definitely pushing us because it was Landon, Caleb Mills, Nate Hinton, Dejan Giroux, Bryson Gresham, Justin Gorham. You had all those guys against
that's a
me,
lot
Corey.
of talent.
A lot of talent against me, Corey, Armani, Breon, and I want to say, and Fade. So it was just like, every practice was a battle. Every practice was a battle, and it was just that competition is what you need in order to propel you. Because the games are never going to be easy. Even though, like, I'd say a lot of times our team, they might make winning look easy. It's just the scouting report, the player tendencies, what they do well, what they don't do well, what they like to do. Like, it's just a lot of attention to detail that goes into winning that people don't even know about.
And I don't think people really know how often the scout team beats the first team.
No,
Well,
it's every day, damn near.
Yeah.
Like damn near every day, yeah.
Kellen told Starns and I in a conversation about a month ago that, like a day or two before, that the scout team was up 19-3 over the starters. And I mean, you hear that and you're like, what the fuck is going on? But that just shows
That's
you
a
the
normal
depth
day.
and yeah. Go ahead, Starns.
Is there normally a time where you want to be peaking in practice? I mean, normally you want your team peaking, in March and things like that. But I assume just because of the year, the wear and tear of the year, you can't practice as hard at that point. But is there a time during the year where you want to be practicing as best as you can?
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't say like peaking. I'd say you from November to December, you want to notice a steady trend. From December to January, steady trend, and then same thing from January to February, February to March. You just want a steady trend of progression, and hopefully by March, whenever March comes, you're the team that you want to be, and hopefully you can win the games that you want to win. But I'd say the most important thing, in my opinion, is just a steady trend of moving forward in the right direction.
And I think the only year in the last 5 or 6 where you have not been the team you wanted to be in March was last year, where you just had too many miles on Shed and Sasser, and then Sasser gets hurt in the conference tournament, and so you just weren't exactly where you wanted to be. But every
Yeah.
year before that, this team had built up and gotten to that level in March for the conference tournament and for the NCAA tournament.
Mhm. Yeah.
Points in the paint, 48 tonight. 48. And I mean, in the first half, it was just a complete domination in the paint. This team had just struggled getting the ball inside, and it was a point of emphasis, and they made it happen today.
It was just I think West Virginia they tried to zone us for a little bit, and it was
Yeah.
just like we were moving the ball, picking them apart, and I feel like it was almost kind of easier to get the ball in the paint against the zone than it was against man. And I was just like just marveled. I was like, man, this ball is flying around. Like it is just finding the open man. It was just infectious, like getting good shots. So I was very pleased and very reassured to see our ball movement and the offense that we were able to generate today.
And Jamie's scout, he mentioned that they showed a little zone against Ohio State, and it was a little shocking because it's a man team. And
Mhm.
he thought that was possibly a look ahead, like what they wanted to do against U of H, because U of H just has not been very good against the zone. But credit to these guys that they made it look easy.
Yeah.
And the teams that are scouting now, Iowa State and TCU, well, they're going to see something totally different than what they saw against Penn and Texas State. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to change how they scout you going ahead.
I just feel like
Comment.
I feel like naturally you rise to the level of competition that you're playing. Like obviously you're not gonna play Penn the same way that you're gonna play at West Virginia, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it.
Okay. That's a reasonable thing. UH has a tendency to make good players look bad. You can't prepare for this mayhem. I was sitting up in press row, and U of H was at the other end of the floor, and just seeing Javier's hands in his arms, like you saw jersey, and then you see these massive hands just come out of nowhere, and like he goes back down on the defensive end, and you can't account for these hands that go out 7.5 feet wide, and that's mayhem. And it's I don't know how you prepare for this team with Javier and with JoJo, with the hands and the
Yeah.
length and the athleticism.
Yeah.
I mean, JoJo is flying around like
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's like on the defensive end, what I can see like just from the screen is like all of our guys, they're connected. It's like it's just it like this is cliche, but it looks like a well-oiled machine. It's like we're all attached on the defensive end. It's kind of actually like pleasing to watch. And it's just like, man, these dudes really do play hard. Like they play hard as hell.
Has
Who in the
Ann
gym?
Ann is in the gym. Has she made a shot, Ryan?
She has not
Damn,
come close.
that ball been bouncing for like 10 minutes. God damn, man.
It's horrible.
Oh, damn, I thought she made the first
I
one.
mean, Yao Ming, she is not.
Come on, bro.
Let's.
Oh,
Here's
she just made
another
one. She just made one.
You made one.
She hit a free throw.
All right.
Where were we?
Well, I had made a disparaging remark about Jeremy Lin over there, but she made the shot, and good for her. Good point about scout team pushing hard. The result was those guys got lots of PT. I'm going to say this, and Galen, talk to me about this. There were a lot of lineups tonight. A lot of guys that I've never seen play together, and like as a 5-man group. I was just starting to write them down. At one point, you had Ramon and JoJo and LJ and Jamal and one other that I'm totally blanking on right now, Damian Dunn. So you had Damian Dunn and JoJo and Ramon out there.
Yeah.
And
I think
mean,
they subbed
that's
out.
a different look.
They subbed out Jamal from Malik at some point too. So LJ
Yeah.
was the only starter in.
Well, there were
lineup did pretty all right.
big stretches where there was only one starter in the game, and that's preserving the bodies, preserving legs, and seeing that these guys can do it, because you're going to need that. You're going to need some different lineups to play
And
2 games in this league each week.
And you also want like exactly, and you want guys, you want their confidence to be high. And let's say we're playing Texas on the road. Certain guys might not play in that, in that type of environment. But you got West Virginia at home. You're up by 30. That's a good time to experiment, build confidence, see what you can get from certain guys in different situations. So, I mean, I feel like that was a good move, just from an experimental aspect.
Yeah. She.
LOL.
The passing lanes. What's that?
I think she shoots layups like Shaq shoots free throws. I think saying she shoots
LOL.
free throws like Shaq is a little too kind.
Damn.
This show has
Layups like
turned
Shaq
into
free
a critique of a 19-year-old girl's shooting form, and that's really weird to me. They don't realize how quick the passing lanes close and how fast defenders recover. That's a big deal, right?
The only sports I've ever played.
Okay, she's talking into the phone. She thinks it's going to do something.
Are
Can
you
you
down?
hear anything she says?
I mean, barely, but it's so. You passed her an AirPod?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Oh man.
All right, you're drunk. Go have some boba and.
Bro said you're drunk.
This is not going. We have a sponsor that is very respected in the business community. And Jeremy Lin. He went to Harvard.
Anyway, the only sports I've ever played.
She said martial arts. Starns, you good, bro?
I have to work with this girl every day.
You
And?
fed up. The AirPod, please, and. Well, thank you.
I was kind of like in The Dark Knight when the Joker would hold the camera and just shake in front of it. That's exactly what she was doing there. Go Sparkle. We've got Sparkle on the brain. Whee! Sparkle. Helping us out, hooking us up. Thanks, guys. We appreciate y'all. One of the things that we agreed to, and this is just a very friendly thing. We're not being mean or picking on anybody, but something they really wanted us to try was we were going to put them up here like this. Yeah, but we're not doing that because that's really mean. Battle was really a non-factor the entire day. He just got shut down by Damian Dunn and by Manuel. And I asked Kelvin about this in the post game, and this is one of those questions that the media person thinks is a really good question, and then Kelvin's just like, that. No, we're not even dealing with that. But he ends up giving a pretty good answer. Take a look.
Damian Dunn has played better in the last few games. Do you see the light kind of turning on for him?
Yeah, I don't get overexcited or worry about anything with any of our kids. It's like free throw shooting. They will get better at free throw shooting. Damian's over time is going to get better at coming off the bench. He's never come off the bench. In high school he was a star. In AAU. For Jerry Stackhouse's program in Kinston, North Carolina, he was a star. At Temple, he's a star. We've had to be patient with Damian, but I'd say the last couple of weeks, I think LJ and Jamal's seen it too. He's been playing good in practice, and we always tell kids that's where it starts. It doesn't start in the games; it starts in practice, and just staying with it. It'll pop for you eventually. He has struggled some, but we try to give him the ball in spots to give him some freedom, but at the same time, everything starts with his defense. That's where he's made his biggest improvement. We don't bring him to practice every day trying to get confidence in his offense. It's not the way it works here. You try to get him confidence in his defense. And I made a boneheaded play by fouling the kid on the out of bounds play. But I'd rather tune a kid down than have to tune him up. I tune him down if I have to, but where a lot of coaches and schools were about trying to get their kids to play harder, that was the biggest challenge for a kid like Damian. He didn't know how to play hard, and in this program, that's non-negotiable.
Good, Chris.
Damn.
Moved. Indiana. We're going to do some cross promotion here.
Why you blowing up my guy's spot, man?
Andy.
One thing I thought was interesting.
So Andy wanted me to eat a Pop Tart, which I've never done. And I should have never said anything about this. They're broken. Is it okay if they're broken? Yes. That smells awful. Here, try it. Yeah, but it smells terrible. It smells all
Tardy.
Huh. All right, there you go. Ryan tried a Pop Tart. That was enough. I'm good. I didn't need any of that.
Bro's allergic.
Yeah, I'm not eating that. I've never had one. It just doesn't look appealing to me.
Pop Tart saved me a many a nights, brother.
Where are you at right now, Galen?
I am currently in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, y'all play tomorrow?
Sweet home, Alabama. No, we play in, I think, 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think we have
know.
practice in 2 days. Yeah, I think we play in like 3 or 4 days against Memphis. Yeah.
What do you do in your off time in Birmingham?
Well, I've been sick lately, but today's been the first day that I've felt good.
Okay.
So yeah, but all
so you're
days
drinking wine.
Oh yeah, so I'm celebrating. It's a celebratory, and my dog just won the first game in the Big 12. So yeah, for sure. But usually I'll just go to the gym, might work out once or twice, and then just maybe design some stuff, and then that's a day for me. Watch a couple of games. Hey, can't beat that with a bat.
Can't beat that with a bat. Sparkle says, "Thank you, great job, fellas. Keep it rolling. Go Cougs." Yeah, 39-point lead with 12 minutes to play tells the story quite a bit.
Jamal Shed had 4 blocks. That
That's
was a game
crazy.
That's as many as West Virginia had as a team, but only one of their guys got any blocks, and that was Cook.
A Cook.
Yeah.
He had 4 blocks. And
Galen, did you ever
he's like
have 4
6'8".
blocks in a game?
Might have been close. I wouldn't say I had
Okay.
4 though. Might have 2 or 3.
Well, that's not that close. I mean,
3 is
2
definitely
and
close.
4.
3 is definitely close to 4.
Okay. So defensively, U of H really wanted to prevent them from shooting in transition. It was an imperative to not have them get off a shot in the first 10 seconds. And when the game was still in reach for West Virginia, I only think it happened twice that they got a shot off early in the shot clock. They hit a 3, and I don't remember what they did on the first shot. But U of H really dictated this game. They did exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I am so fascinated what it's going to look like in Ames, Iowa on Tuesday night in 3 inches of freaking snow.
Yeah. Now, our defensive intensity, their attention to detail, you can tell it just looked like a team who's played together for a long time. Everybody was in the right spots, and a lot of times I remember coaches to say, if you're where you're supposed to be, like the team, they'll just throw the ball right to you. You know, we got a couple of those types of plays. I remember Ray Battle, he had tried to throw a cross court. I think he threw it right to Emmanuel, and then we were in transition. But yeah, just being where you're supposed to be on defense, the attention to detail, and also just knowing how important defense is to winning, let alone winning in the Big 12. So, like I said, I'm proud of our guys. This is a game they very much could have lost, and I'm glad they had the right mindset going in, and they were able to, dominate.
U of H shot 53% in this game, and we haven't talked about the offense really. This 12 of 14 from the line. We don't see that too often. And they're 50% from behind the arc, only 18 attempts.
All 9 players that they played, all 9 players in the rotation scored 5 points.
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah, rotation.
Everybody, I wish almost everybody scored that play tonight. Almost everybody, man.
Yeah,
hope my
that
boy
Ryan
Ryo
Elvin
got
kid.
him. I was hoping he got him a bucket, man. Damn.
He had a good look. He had an assist. But he was on the floor with Malik, and Malik ain't passing to him.
Sad Lott he scored his first point last game on a free throw. I think he banked it in, but he has not yet to make his first bucket in college yet.
It'll come, or it won't, but it'll come. What else we got? Anything from y'all? How about let's talk about this. How about this crowd?
Yeah.
Usually, this is a crowd that fills in about the 12-minute mark. They may not have been here for tip, but a lot of them were. And this was the most full it has been at tip-off that I can remember. And it was loud. The people were into it. There was a buzz. Yeah. And the team responded. And, this whole thing would have been different had you started on the road. But you got this crowd behind you. They had great giveaways. They had celebrities everywhere. The mayor was here. Tank Dell was here. Fabian White, Sweet Lou Dunbar. Elvin Hayes led the Who's House chant before the game. Really did a good job of rolling it all out. Sweet Lou Dunbar have you ever gotten to know him, Galen?
I don't even know what you're talking about, brother.
Okay.
See, I'm
That's
not the
how
only one.
I
I
know
didn't know
I'm
who he
old.
was
Yeah,
either.
I know. Sweet Lou was
Well,
one of the
hey,
best players
he's
in program history in the late 70s. And then he played for the Globetrotters for about 30 years. He was the
Sweet
most
Lou.
famous Globetrotter. And I'm embarrassed for both of you being basketball guys and not knowing who he is.
Sweet Lou.
Both of
Did you
you.
mention Brett Yormark? He was here.
Brett Yormark was here. He got sat so far down, like he didn't matter. Like he wasn't over here with the Fertitas or the Lorches or with the president. He was way down there, and that was something. Don't see that.
There's nothing like the games that have just a buzz, just a noticeable buzz in them.
Yeah.
I think I remember my senior year, we were playing Memphis, and I think this is when Penny was the head coach that was his first year being head coach.
Mhm.
And I remember me and Breon, we were sitting there looking at him. He had on his signature Nike shoes and whatnot.
Suit and his
Yeah, his phone posits or whatever. And me and Breon was like, "Gee, brother," he was like, "You smell a popcorn?" He was like, "We got Penny Hardaway over here. He said, we about to beat their ass." He said, "This is what it's all about." I said, "Yeah, you're right, man. This is what it's all about." Like, I just remember that, man. That was a great game. We won that game too, but that was a great game. My boy Breon. Wow. Sweet Lou Dunbar.
Not knowing Sweet Lou Dunbar makes me sad. It makes us all sad. We're gonna have some classes to catch y'all up because Sweet Lou, he played with, I believe, Ernest Birdsong, late 70s. There's Galen drinking his wine out of a coffee cup because he got shamed for drinking out of the bottle. But you do what you need to do, buddy. You have fun.
Hey, don't
All right.
mind me. I'm just sitting here watching the game in my satin-lined Houston versus everybody hoodie. Available on onesubstantial.com. Don't mind me.
Don't mind him.
Don't mind me.
Onesubstantial.com.
Just,
Galen's website.
just nice and comfortable here. You see the satin in the, oh yeah, nice and, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So sipping my
There it
wine,
is.
minding my business.
Galen, is there anything you saw today that was a troubling or a concern or maybe they need to work on?
Coach Sampson, he has a saying. I think it goes like, it's like Miss America. She can walk by, and you're worried about the bunion on her foot. And it's basically like there's something wrong with everything, but for the most part, I didn't see anything that was worrying, or I felt like we dominated in every aspect of the game from tip off till 0-0-0. So definitely proud of our guys for being locked in.
Yeah, I thought first half especially, you played as well as you could have ever expected,
Yeah.
ever hoped. Got a little sloppy there in the middle of the second half, but that's going to happen.
Yeah.
They slowed the offense down a little bit as well. Starns, what about you? What do you have? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything you could really nitpick at all. I mean, even the free throws, which had been the worry all year, they were perfect, almost perfect.
Yeah.
This is as good as we've seen them all year, and it's at the right time. But I think now with the Big 12, the challenge is not winning one game; it's turning around for the next. And they got to go on the road to Iowa State next, and then after that, they got to stay on the road to TCU, and then that's where the grind starts. And so it's a good first win, but now it's time to. Now this is where it really, really starts.
Yeah, and it's a quick turnaround. You play Tuesday, so they'll fly out Monday, probably in the early afternoon. We're going to be at practice again tomorrow. I mean, it's just a nonstop situation. Iowa State is probably my second most looked forward to road game this year. Obviously, Kansas is in its own level, right? But I'm looking forward to going to Ames and experiencing that. That is a difficult arena to play in. That crowd is going to be nuts. And I'm really looking forward to it. Getting in Tuesday around lunch. I'm going to have lunch with Fran Fashilla at Provision F something. I don't know. He told me about it. And he said he's going to be there, so we'll see. Just a really great effort, a really great win. But it's not going to stop now. And you saw how well TCU played. You've got Iowa State, who's playing well. They play OU this evening. I mean, it's a gauntlet, and it's not going to let up. And you're never going to have a Temple or a bad Tulsa team or something like that coming in. It's just not going to be that way. Not in this league. This is probably the worst team you're going to face, especially facing them this early in the year when they're just not gelled, they're not together. I can't believe that she's still shooting the ball. She'd never done that, and we're trying to do a show here, trying to be professional. But
Ryan, you're a funny dude, bro. You're a funny dude.
You're right, Galen.
You're a funny dude, man.
Tell the world.
Like, hey, I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate it.
All right.
My guy Ryan.
His guy Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
My guy Starns. Just love this
My
photo.
guy Starns, man.
I mean, you never see
name.
a coach caring so much about what a reporter is saying as Kellen does right here.
Fact.
Like, they don't care. And
My
here
boy
he is.
Starns
I mean, just staring
my boy
a hole
is
in
spitting
him.
some knowledge, dropping some gems.
It was a particularly wordy question. Don't ask wordy questions, people.
Don't ask wordy questions.
That may
one
have
of the
been
few things that I've been able to impart on Starns is a short question goes a long ways. I have no idea what is happening here. I have lost control. And we're going to end the show.
Line hoods, ladies and gentlemen.
Go to
Music versus everybody.
onesubstantial.com.
Absolutely.
Galen, I'll send you money for hers too, I guess.
We accept all forms of payment.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, like I say every show, man, I appreciate what you're doing, man. This is cool. This is cool. I get to drink my wine on air, man. This is great, man. Talk about my favorite thing to talk about. Can't beat that with a bat. Whip my boy Starns. You know what I'm saying? Whip my boy Starns. My boy looking over there looking like Nicolas Cage. I'm on you, boy.
You know, I had to pause and think to make sure you said Nicholas, because it sounded like you said a little something else. And I thought my career was ending right there. So for all you people that own wineries or own, a spirits shop, the next step we're taking is we're going to get Galen sponsored. We need a winery or a wine bar.
A winery, yes.
Or a wine bar. You take a wine bar. And
take whatever I can get, man.
Starnes just went offline so he could shush Ann away. This is just what I've never seen a girl need attention this much. But there it is. We're going to get Galen a wine bar and, Vidal Sassoon for Starnes, and everything should be good. And just for men, for me. So thank y'all so much for watching. This is going to be it for us today. We're going and getting some work done. And oh God, she's back. I don't know what to say, guys, but thanks so much to Sparkle and to all of you for watching and reading everything we have. It is another packed week. There's so much content coming out this week. It's unbelievable. Thanks so much, Starnes, Galen Robinson, the Godfather, and Ann.